The ambassador just got the telephone call from the Ministry of Higher and Secondary Specialized Education. The first Deputy Minister, Karimov, apologized very much, as he has just been assigned a very urgent task, and he left the ministry to the government. So he will be replaced by them, and we are very pleased that the new head of the main department for international cooperation, Mr. Shuhrat Bakhadirovich Rumbayev, will join us and will be on behalf of the ministry. Assalamu alaikum, Shuhrat.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yaxshimisiz?
Rahmat.
Okay, just one announcement again from the technical point. Rahmat Qudratxon.
Hurmatli tadbir ishtirokchilari, yana bir bora eslatib o'tamiz. Tadbirimizda demak ikkita tilda o'tkazilish kutilyapti. Tarjimon bor. Tarjima uchun siz ekraningiz pastki qismida o'zingizga ma'qul bo'lgan tilni tanlashingiz mumkin. Agar savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, bemalol chat orqali yozishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. E'tiborlar uchun katta rahmat.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, Your Excellency, the Ambassador. Assalamu alaikum, Shuhrat Bakhadirovich. Assalamu alaikum, Oybek Khayratov. Welcome to Erasmus Plus National Impact Study webinar. My name is Aziza Abdurrahmanova. I am the coordinator of the National Erasmus Plus Office. For the last year of the previous Erasmus Plus program, 2014-2020, a number of conferences, studies, discussions were held with the aim to evaluate the program impact on higher education system of the involved countries and Uzbekistan as well. The aim of today's seminar, which will take in place today and tomorrow, so we will have it for 2 days, is to discuss the results of the national impact study in Uzbekistan. Today's webinar is particularly important for us as we decided to present the Erasmus Plus program impact to non-academic partners, to the world of labor, to the employee organization, to the ministries, to the state committees, to the profile ministries, in order to encourage their involvement in the future projects. This morning we have received, the next link to the next report study, which was undertaken specifically on the Erasmus Plus structural projects. The project which must involve the ministries in order to have the impact at the national level. And I would like to share just one of the statements from this study. As one of the focus group was organized with the project partners, with the ministries in Uzbekistan. It was online last year. Participants in Uzbekistan focus group were particularly positive about the ministry's participation and emphasized that it ensured efficiency in the delivery of project results and their integration into national legislation and strategies. So I think it's evident that we really need the ministries, we need the governmental structures in the future projects. The second day, tomorrow, will be hosted by the National Team of Higher Education Reform Experts and provide opportunity to discuss future possible project ideas for the future projects. Why? The project should definitely be in line with the ongoing reforms in higher education system, in the national economy, and I think that tomorrow's event will attract more participants as well. We are quite confident that both webinars, they will be quite good, useful, and we will extend the range of participants. Specifically, we would like to have more newcomer universities. You know that the universities number in Uzbekistan has been doubled, so we have a lot of newcomers. And we also would like to present that the absorption capacity, as usual, will be improved, and the Uzbek universities, the universities from Uzbekistan, will be involved in more regional, cross-regional projects. So we would like to be this session and tomorrow as interactive as possible. So please use a chat box for asking the questions. We will turn on the mics, so you can ask the questions directly after each presentation. And now it's my great pleasure to give a floor to our ambassador, to the ambassador of the European Union in Uzbekistan. Please, the ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Aziza, and assalamu alaikum and humatli dostlar. It's a great pleasure for me to be here today, and I have to say that I understand also that the times here are also important and difficult, with a lot of work also for our Uzbek authorities and partners, in particular with what is happening with our neighbor. And definitely also, we're also very happy to have this meeting, not only today because it's just before the beginning of the university year starting again, but we're definitely also happy because it's also soon going to be the Independence Day of the 30-year anniversary of the independence of Uzbekistan. So I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm very happy to have this opportunity today to greet you and thank for the opportunity to discuss the challenges and, in fact, the achievements and the challenges that we've had during the last years with Erasmus, and, in fact, the evaluation, and, of course, also the opportunities for the future. Obviously, as you will have seen, and hopefully, and I will definitely repeat it, Erasmus Plus is a major education program for the EU. It has shown, in general, its worth and its importance. And this is also why the new Erasmus program budget for the next 7 years has been nearly doubled. So this is really, it's gone from 14.7 billion euros to, in fact, 26.2 billion euros for the next 7 years. I'm also very happy to see that, in fact, the program will be it will be adapting also to the new situation. It has an increased budget, but it will also be, the idea is to be more inclusive, more digital, and definitely also more green. And this is really important, I think, for all of us. We've seen all the happenings and the let's say the major changes in environment that are happening, and climate change as a big thing. And I think it's good that even Erasmus, all our policies, and even Erasmus also becomes green. One of the maybe one of the major findings that I found also in the recently published national impact study, which now will be presented and discussed today and tomorrow, says that the majority of experts and respondents participated in the national impact study agreed that without the impacts of Tempus and Erasmus Plus projects, a rapid modernization of higher education in Uzbekistan between 2017 and 2020 would hardly have been achieved. Now, I think this is exactly, Aziza, as you said, this is important that we are, the program is being discussed with the authorities, that it is in line with the policy of the government, and that is really important for the EU as well. But also that, of course, that's evolutions, and that the program can bring new ideas and also new, maybe even new techniques and new partners to also enrich in fact, the policies of the government. And I think this is what Erasmus is about. It's about enriching the policies, enriching, in fact, also the universities and, of course, the teachers, as well as the students, so that together, in fact, we can bring added value to development of the country, but also added value to people, in fact, because this is also about the life of people. This means that, of course, the sustainability and the success of the program depends on the activities of the partners, of all the stakeholders. As Aziza also said, I see that she just left now, but as Aziza also said, she's back, as Aziza also said, this is about having all our, in fact, stakeholders together, and also bringing in employers, the private sector. In fact, the students are, in the end, they're not only studying for studying, they're studying also for going out into the world of labor. And if there is a mismatch between the studies and, in fact, the learnings and the needs of the world of labor, then we have a problem. So it is really important to have the opportunity to have discussions with everybody, and to make sure that there is no discrepancy between the studying and, in fact, the needs of the market. Maybe just one thing which I would like to highlight is that it will really be something that I am, and as EU representative and the delegation, being from here as ambassador, and not only me, but also other ambassadors from the EU, we will be, in fact, supporting, and we will be wanting to meet and work on education in the future, much more maybe that we've done before. I had the opportunity in May to go to Samarkand, and in fact also have a meeting with several Erasmus Plus project coordinators who shared their experience, which was very interesting. And I think this is what we need to also build on in the future. So Erasmus Plus is it's a tool, but it's also a philosophy. And I think the way that you have conducted the evaluation in a very open way, discussing it, continuing to learn, not only from the best practices, but also learning from, let's say, there can be failures, but we also learn very much from the failures. So in this way, being very open and frank about it, this is the way that we make progress. Of course, last but not least, we will be launching, the call for proposals from Erasmus for the next Erasmus Plus call will be launching back in October. And I hope that tomorrow all of you will have the opportunity to join the discussion about the future directions, because this is really important, and the project ideas that you will have. This is, in fact, tomorrow is the opportunity to shape the future. And I hope that you will also all participate actively in shaping the future, because this is important. The evaluation, I think, is a good basis for thinking about what could be the future. And then, of course, all ideas are welcome. But maybe, as I said in the beginning, the EU is really interested also in working on the digital and working on green, on the transition, on climate change. I think this is really important also for Uzbekistan. We've seen it also in Europe. You've seen it. There's been a lot of difficult times regarding climate change, with droughts, but also with fires. In fact, it's the same in Uzbekistan and in Central Asia and other parts of the world. So I think this is also where the education and where universities, where researchers have a lot to say and a lot to do with this. So I hope that tomorrow there will be, you will have the opportunity to discuss what the future should look like for the Erasmus Plus. I'd like to thank you, thank the ministries, thank the ministry also, IBEC, and the Ministry of course, of Education, and thank you, Aziza. And I look forward to also hear more about it. I will not stay all the time, but I'm with you, and I'm looking forward to hear all the conclusions and definitely to see future and meet also with both with the ministries, line ministries, but definitely in the future also meet with the universities, and because this is, in my view, where we have a possibility and a capacity to shape the future. So from my side, thank you very much for having invited me. Looking forward to meet you in person, hopefully in the future, very much, and definitely good luck, and then I will definitely give you my Thank you very much from my side. Thank you.
Sizga katta rahmat. Thank you very much, dear ambassador, for your inspiring welcoming speech and emphasizing the most important and the most relevant points for the Erasmus Plus and university community of Uzbekistan, specifically in these days. Now it's my great pleasure. And I also would like to say thanks for being with us for each Erasmus Plus event. And hopefully in September, October, we will welcome people and launch the next call for proposals for Erasmus Plus projects. Thank you very much. And now it's my great pleasure to give a floor to the newly appointed head of international relations, main department of the ministry, Mr. Urumbayev Shuhrat Bakhadirovich. Marhamat, hurmatli Shuhrat Bakhadirovich.
Thank you, Aiza Abdurrahmanova, for giving a floor. It's my great pleasure to be part of this conference. Let me continue in Uzbek. Thank you. Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli Shavot Adrian elchi janob olalari, vazirlik va tashkilotlar vakillari, hurmatli Erasmus Plus anjuman ishtirokchilari. Men o'z nutqimning boshida Yevropa Ittifoqining Tempus, Erasmus Plus dasturlari doirasida amalga oshirilgan va hozirda davom etayotgan loyihalar, yurtimizda oliy ta'lim sohasida amalga oshirilayotgan islohotlarga ulkan hissa qo'shib kelayotganligini ta'kidlab o'tmoqchiman. Haqiqatda yillar davomida mazkur loyihalar doirasida Yevropa Ittifoqidagi oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan hamkorlikda ta'lim sohasini takomillashtirish va modernizatsiya qilish bo'yicha ko'plab muhim takliflar ishlab chiqilgan. Ma'lumki, Yevropa Ittifoqi ta'lim dasturi loyihalarida respublikamizdagi ko'plab oliy ta'lim muassasalari ishtirok etib kelishmoqda. O'rnatilgan barqaror hamkorlik va aloqalar nufuzli Yevropa universitetlarining filiallarini ochish, qo'shma fakultet va dasturlarni yaratish, fanlarni ingliz tilida o'qitish kabi masalalarda o'z hissasini qo'shmoqda. Amalga oshirilayotgan Erasmus Plus loyihalaridagi hamkorlik doirasida professor o'qituvchilar malaka oshirish, tajriba almashish, talabalar esa qisqa va uzoq muddatli tahsil olish imkoniyatlaridan unumli foydalanib kelishmoqda. Erasmus Plus loyihalari orqali ECTS tizimini tatbiq etish va o'quv jarayonini tashkil etishning kredit modul tizimiga bosqichma-bosqich o'tish tajribasi alohida ahamiyatga ega. Yurtimizda xalqaro oliy ta'lim muassasalarini barpo etilishi davlat oliy ta'lim muassasalariga kadrlarni tayyorlashda yangi raqobat muhitini shakllantiradi. Bu o'z navbatida davlat oliy ta'lim muassasalarini rivojlantirish bo'yicha yangi vazifalarni belgilab beradi. Oliy ta'lim muassasalariga xalqaro tajribalardan kelib chiqib, oliy ta'limning ilg'or standartlarini joriy etish, jumladan kredit modul tizimini joriy etish, ta'lim dasturlari va talabalar bilan baholash tizimini xalqaro standartlarga moslashtirish, shuningdek o'quv dasturlarida oliy nazariy bilim olishga yo'naltirilgan ta'limdan amaliy ko'nikmalarni shakllantirishga yo'naltirilgan ta'lim tizimiga o'tish bo'yicha vazifalarni amalga oshirish talab etiladi. Aminmanki, Erasmus Plus dasturi loyihalari aynan dolzarb bo'lgan masalalarni hal qilishda bizga yordam beradi. Jumladan, ta'lim sifatini oshirish, ta'lim jarayonini xalqaro standartlarga ko'tarish, magistraturaning yangi ta'lim yo'nalishlarini ochish, zamonaviy ta'lim dasturlarini yaratish, o'quv dasturlari va qo'llanmalar yaratish, xalqaro kredit mobilligi loyihalari doirasida yevropalik xorijiy professor o'qituvchilarni ma'ruzalari o'qish uchun taklif qilish, professor o'qituvchilar malakasini oshirish va dars berish, oliy ta'lim muassasalarining moddiy texnik bazasini yangilash, ya'ni noyob jihozlarni sotib olish, o'quv jarayonini ilm-fan va ishlab chiqarish bilan uyg'unlashtirish, injenerlik, qishloq xo'jalik sohalarini rivojlantirish masalalari dolzarb bo'lib, ularni hal qilishda Erasmus+ dasturidagi loyihalar ahamiyatlidir. Yevropa Ittifoqi loyihalarida ishtirok etayotgan oliy ta'lim muassasalari Erasmus+ anjumani davomida beriladigan foydali ma'lumotlarni o'zining o'quv yurtlarida imkon qadar kengroq tarqatish kerak. Berilgan ma'lumotlar asosida Yevropa Ittifoqi bilan loyihalarimiz soni ko'payadi, jalb qilingan oliy ta'lim muassasalari qatori kengayadi. Yevropa Ittifoqi tomonidan 2021-2027 yillarda amalga oshirish uchun Erasmus+ dasturining keyingi bosqichi joriy etilishi, umid qilamanki, respublikamizdagi oliy ta'lim muassasalari loyihalarini shakllantirishda kelgusida yanada faol ishtirok etib, yurtimizda oliy ta'lim sohasida amalga oshirilayotgan islohotlarga o'z hissasini qo'shadilar. O'ylaymanki, biz har bir loyihadan oliy ta'limni rivojlantirish uchun dolzarb bo'lgan masalalarni hal qilishda unumli ravishda foydalanamiz. Shuningdek, oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan bir qatorda ishtirok etib kelayotgan tarmoq vazirlik va tashkilotlarning o'rni juda katta va foydali ekanligini alohida ta'kidlab o'tmoqchiman. Tarmoq oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan loyihani amalga oshirish jarayonida respublika miqyosida ko'rib chiqilayotgan masalalar bo'yicha ish olib borib, yaxshi natijalarga ega bo'lib va loyihalarning barqarorligi ham ta'minlanmoqda. Bundan tashqari, Oliy ta'lim vazirligining vakillarini Erasmus+ loyihalarining nafaqat strukturaviy loyihalarda, balki o'quv dasturlarini ishlab chiqish loyihalarida ham faol ishtirok etishini taklif qilaman. Ertaga oliy ta'lim bo'yicha ekspertlar milliy guruhi a'zolari tomonidan siyosat va iqtisodiyot, oliy ta'lim, fan va innovatsiyalar, qishloq xo'jaligi va sog'liqni saqlash sohalarida ijodiy sohadan inovatga holda kelajakdagi Erasmus+ 2022 loyihalari uchun eng dolzarb mavzular muhokama qilinadi. Mavzular 2017-2020 yillarga tegishli sohalardagi islohotlarni tafsillovchi taqdimotning tahliliy qismini tayyorlagan oliy ta'lim bo'yicha ekspertlar milliy guruh a'zolari tomonidan taqdim etilishini ma'lum qilaman va ishtirok etishga taklif qilib qolaman. Ushbu Erasmus+ anjumani tashkil etib, oliy ta'lim sohasida olib borilayotgan islohotlarga o'z hissangizni qo'shayotgan Yevropa Ittifoqi delegatsiyasi, Erasmus+ milliy ofisi rahbarlari va xodimlariga vazirlik nomidan o'z minnatdorchiligimni bildiraman. Anjuman ishiga muvaffaqiyat tilayman. Hammalaringizga cheksiz kuch-g'ayrat va omadlar tilayman. E'tiboringiz uchun rahmat.
Katta rahmat, Shuhrat Bahadir. It's always should be repeated many times that the role of the Ministry of Higher and Secondary Specialized Education is significant. And again, I would like to thank for the very, very relevant points underlined related to the structural project, to the efficiency of the results, to the evaluation of the results, to dissemination of best practice, to attracting more newcomers. And thank you for inviting more participants for tomorrow's event. Now it's my great pleasure to give the floor to the head of the European main department of the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, Aybek Gayratovich Shahavdinov, who is the old friend of Tempus and Erasmus+. And we also, everybody knows in the Erasmus+ community that we are reporting. So the information about the activities of Erasmus Plus is regularly collected both by the Ministry of Innovative Development, for the Ministry of High and Secondary Specialized Education, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Marhamat Albek Kayratovich.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Abdurrahmanova. Well, Ambassador, thank for the Payne Award. Indeed, it's a great pleasure today to attend today's event. Do you hear me, colleagues? Because I think that probably the line is not stable in my premises.
It's
Do you hear
okay.
me?
Please go ahead.
Hello? Well, I hardly hear you, but I hope that everyone hears me. Basically, indeed, the education is a key for Uzbekistan. As we're all well aware, the Uzbekistan population is fairly young. According to UNODC recent assessment, the young population makes under age of 30 makes about 60% of the Uzbek population. Therefore, the young people are the main backbone or the main pillar of our nation. This has been clearly underlined in the most recent interview of the president of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev, to the newspaper New Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is strongly committed to its ambitious program of systematic and comprehensive reforms in education. And therefore, the Erasmus Plus program and previously Tempus is a unique opportunity for our educational institutions, which is basically financed by the European Union, is a unique program which provides the opportunity both for the universities, teams and individuals from the Central Asian countries, Uzbekistan in particular, to cooperate with the European Union counterpart, as well as in the framework intra-regional cooperation within the Central Asia itself. This is a very important because the main priority of our foreign policy is cooperation with our neighboring countries to enhance the peace and stability, to ensure the stable development and prosperous Central Asia. Well, we very much welcome that the budget of the Erasmus Plus for the next 7-year budget has been doubled. This is indeed a very important signal from the European Union side. And I hope that our universities will take this opportunity to be more actively engaged in different activities of the program. It's also worth to note that within the 6 goals of the previous budget, 2014-2020, in total, 43 Erasmus Plus capacity building projects were financed in Uzbekistan, including 12 national projects, as well as 11 cross-regional projects and 20 regional projects. This is, of course, a figure which is not the limit, we believe. I hope that within the next 7-year budget, with next MIP, Uzbekistan will be more actively engaged and will show even better results. Nevertheless, it's worth to note that thanks to the Erasmus Plus program, 65 universities of Uzbekistan are benefiting cooperation with 136 universities from 30 countries of Europe and 117 countries of Central Asia and CIS and other parts of the world. Indeed, I'm not going to go into very details, but I would like to encourage, first of all, our educational institutions to be more active in this program. And we have to also keep in mind that there is another important program in the European Union, which is called used to be called Horizon 2020, and now it's called Horizon Europe. This is a research and development program, which will also encourage our think tanks, educational institutions, as well as academicians to be a part of this program, in particular of different actions within this program, like Jean Monnet, Erasmus Mundus, and Maria Skladowska. For example, one of the results which we hope will be a good practice for other educational institutions is University of World Economy and Diplomacy, which recently opened a network of Jean Monnet Center, and it will will facilitate to enhance the capacity and awareness of the best practice available in the European Union in terms of the European Union integration, because a lot of cooperation and integration process are happening in our region these days, as well as the education will be also a part of their research, because we would like to enhance our education system, and the head of state numerous times have underlined that these reforms have to be a comprehensive one. So we have to start from the kindergarten and upgrade to the kind of higher education, and then lifelong education kind of system, which we would like to see in Uzbekistan. And therefore, as a foreign ministry, fully supports this program, and we hope that the results of our universities will be more vivid and more progressive in terms of the next 7-year budget period and next calls for proposals. We hope to see not only the educational institutions of Uzbekistan attending, those have already attending again. We hope that the new universities, as Ms. Abdurrahmanova has underlined, we have doubled the educational institutions in Uzbekistan over the past 4 years, and therefore the newly established universities, we hope also that they will attend these programs. And as I already said in the interview of our president, just recently published in the newspaper New Uzbekistan, the education was highlighted as one of the key priority for development of the country, because without well-educated people, you won't be able to achieve a prosperous and sustainably developing country. Therefore, I thank again everyone for their attendance for today's seminar. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure and honor, as always, to attend this kind of events. And I wish you 2 days of successful webinar. And if somehow the foreign ministry can facilitate it, we're always at your disposal. Thank you.
Katta rahmat, Oybek Gayratovich. It's my great pleasure again to repeat that we are very, very needed for the specific recommendations provided by the Ministry of High Secondary Specialized Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It should be considered as the Erasmus Plus is always flexible to any recent governmental decision related to higher education, and immediately reacted by the changing the work program of the project and involving the most relevant partners. I've already looked through the chat and realized that we have some students today joining the webinar. And I would like to underline that the objective of today's webinar is to discuss the results of the national impact studies with the non-academic partners, with the ministries, with the state committees, with the agencies, so in order to enhance their role and their involvement in the future project. Please, all the questions related to the Erasmus Mundus program, master programs, should be answered later on. Thank you again, and now we are coming to the next part of our webinar, which will be presented and moderated by the NEO project manager, Gule Karlibayeva. Marhamat.
Assalomu alaykum. Yana bir bor, demak, webinarimizni so'nggi qismini o'zbek tilida olib boramiz. Bizda Erasmus Plus milliy ofisi eksperti tomonidan taqdim etiladi va ularning taqdimotlari O'zbekistonda Erasmus Plus dasturining ta'siri deb nomlanadi. Marhamat, Qudratxon.
Assalomu alaykum. Yana bir bor katta rahmat. Hurmatli tadbir ishtirokchilari, demak hozirgi taqdimot aynan mana shu o'rganishlar natijalarini bilan o'rtoqlashishga maqsad qilingan. Ya'ni O'zbekiston Respublikasi oliy ta'lim tizimida Erasmus Plus loyihalarining ijobiy ta'siri o'rganib chiqilgan. Demak, bu Erasmus Plus milliy ofisi hamda oliy ta'limdagi ekspertlar guruhi bilan birgalikda o'tgan yili noyabr-dekabr oylari davomida amalga oshirilib, bu jarayonda loyiha ishtirokchilari hamda noakademik tashkilotlar, ya'ni loyihada ishtirok etgan noakademik tashkilotlar ishtirok etib, ulardan demak so'rovnomalar asosida hamda intervyular asosida ushbu o'rganish amalga oshirilgan va natijalari hisobot shaklida ko'rsatilgan. Demak, to'liq hisobotni bemalol bizning Erasmus+.uz veb-saytida olib o'qishinglar mumkin. U yerda to'liq ma'lumot berilgan va shularni qisqacha ma'lumot haqida hozir mana shu taqdimotda to'xtalib o'tish maqsad qilganmiz. Demak, statistik ma'lumotlardan boshlaydigan bo'lsak, boya yuqorida aytib o'tildi, bizda bir qancha turdagi loyihalar amalga oshirilgan. Erasmus Plus dasturi birinchi davrida demak 6 ta tanlov e'lon qilingan bo'lib, bunda 12 ta milliy loyihalar va 20 ta hududiy loyihalar hamda hududlar kesimi doirasida yana 11 ta loyiha amalga oshirilgan. Jami demak O'zbekiston oliy ta'lim muassasalari hamda noakademik tashkilotlarning ishtiroki bilan 43 ta loyiha amalga oshirilganini ko'rib turibmiz. Bu yerda to'xtalib o'tish kerak, aksariyat loyihalarimiz yangi o'quv dasturlarini yaratish va mavjudlarini yangilashga qaratilgan bo'lib, mana ko'rinib turibdi, 43 ta loyihadan 30 tasi aynan mana shu, ya'ni curriculum development loyihalariga bag'ishlangan va aksariyat qismida respublikamizning turli xil oliy ta'lim muassasalarida yangi o'quv dasturlari yaratilgan va shu bilan birgalikda borlari yangilangan, ya'ni Yevropaning ilg'or tajribalarini qo'llangan holda o'quv dasturlari yangilab bo'lgan. Bundan tashqari mana oliy ta'limda boshqaruv va undagi boshqa masalalar bo'yicha boshqa loyihalar ham amalga oshirilgan. Demak, dasturlarni yaratish bo'yicha e'tibor qaratadigan bo'lsak, eng asosiy yo'nalishlar demak 4 ta birinchidagi yo'nalishlarni ko'rishimiz mumkin. Bular demak muhandislik, qishloq xo'jaligi, sog'liqni saqlash. Bular demak lider yo'nalishdagi loyihalar mana shu yo'nalishlarda amalga oshirilgan. Nega degan savol tug'iladi? Chunki Erasmus Plus dasturi amalga oshirilish davrida, ya'ni shu tanlovlar e'lon qilinganda Oliy va o'rta maxsus ta'lim vazirligi bilan birgalikda ustuvor yo'nalishlar ishlab chiqilgan. Ya'ni bu ustuvor yo'nalishlarda mana shu ro'yxatdagi yo'nalishlar O'zbekistonda oliy ta'lim tizimida rivojlantirilishi kerak deb belgilab berilgan va shuning asosida ko'rib turibmizki, qaysi yo'nalishlarda jadal loyihalar amalga oshirilgan. Belgilab o'tish kerak bo'lgan yana muhim jihatlardan biri, demak, bu loyihada faqat O'zbekistonni o'zi yoki Yevropani oliy ta'lim muassasalarini o'zi emas, birgalikdagi loyiha hisoblanadi. Bu yerda konsorsium bo'lishi kerak va kamida 2 ta Yevropa oliy ta'lim muassasasi bo'lishi kerak. Mana 2015-20 yillar davrida ko'radigan bo'lsak, koordinator, ya'ni grant oluvchi sifatida Yevropaning bir qancha oliy ta'lim muassasalari, shu bilan birgalikda Qozog'iston hamda O'zbekiston ham oliy ta'lim muassasalari ham ishtirok etishgan va birinchi 3 ta lider ko'rib Italiya, Ispaniya, Gretsiya va Latviya davlatlarining oliy ta'lim muassasalari O'zbekiston oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan juda ham yaqindan ishlaganini ko'rishimiz mumkin va ro'yxatda boshqa oliy ta'lim muassasalarining ham O'zbekiston bilan ishlaganini biz ko'rib turibmiz. Bu yerda bu grafikda esa hamkor sifatida ishtirok etgan, ya'ni mana shu loyihalarda O'zbekiston bilan birgalikda qaysi davlatlarimiz ishtirok etganini ko'rib turibmiz. Bu yerda belgilab o'tish kerak, Yevropa ittifoqi davlatlaridan tashqari mana Shimoliy Makedoniya, Turkiya hamda Buyuk Britaniya ham dasturiy davlat sifatida ishtirok etadi va bular ham mana shu loyihalarda O'zbekiston bilan birga ishtirok etganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Endi mahalliy darajada ko'radigan bo'lsak, 10 ta eng faol oliy ta'lim muassasalarining ro'yxatini keltirganmiz bu yerda. Mana birinchi bo'lib bizda Toshkent axborot texnologiyalari universiteti. Bularda ta'kidlab o'tish kerakki, Tempus, Erasmus Plus loyihalarida faol ishtirok etgandan tashqari, bular respublikada birinchi bo'lib grant oluvchi sifatida ishtirok etib kelishyapti. Ya'ni bitta loyiha O'zbekistondan tanlab olingan loyiha mana shu Toshkent axborot texnologiyalar universiteti jamoasi tomonidan boshqarilib kelinyapti. Va undan keyingi o'rinda demak Buxoro davlat universiteti, O'zbekiston milliy universiteti, Qoraqalpoq davlat universiteti va hokazolar davom etgan. Eng muhim masalalardan biri qancha mablag' ajratilganligi haqida va mahalliy oliy ta'lim muassasalari va noakademik tashkilotlar qancha mablag'ni o'zlashtirganligi haqida ma'lumotga e'tibor qaratadigan bo'lsak, mana 43 ta loyihada umumiy bo'lib 36 million yevrodan oshiqroq mablag' ajratilgan va shuning 3dan 1 qismi demak O'zbekiston oliy ta'lim muassasalari va noakademik tashkilotlari hissasiga to'g'ri keladi. Buni mana grafikda ko'rishimiz mumkin. Tempus loyihalariga qaytadigan bo'lsak, barchamizga ma'lum Erasmus Plus loyihalaridan oldin amalga oshirilgan bir qator loyihalar guruhi. Bu yerda O'zbekistonning ishtirokida 80 ta loyiha amalga oshirilgan va o'sha davr davomida, ya'ni 94-yildan 2013-yilgacha 55 ta oliy ta'lim muassasasi, O'zbekistonning 55 ta oliy ta'lim muassasasi ishtirok etgan. Bu o'sha davrga oladigan bo'lsak, 90% dan oshiq oliy ta'lim muassasalari respublika bo'ylab mana shu loyihalarda ishtirok etishgan va o'zlariga qandaydir foydali loyihalarda natijalarga erishgan. Shu bilan birgalikda 44 ta nodavlat, akademik tashkilotlarimiz ishtirok etib, loyihalarda ishtirok etishgan. Boya aytib o'tilgandek, bu loyihalar albatta Yevropa oliy ta'lim muassasalari va boshqa oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan, ya'ni maqsadlari to'g'ri kelgan oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan birgalikda amalga oshirilgan. Muhim o'rinlardan bu yerda Oliy va o'rta maxsus ta'lim vazirligi egallaydi, chunki oliy ta'lim tizimini rivojlantirishda va bu navbatdagi modernizatsiyalarni kiritishda Oliy va o'rta maxsus ta'lim vazirligining o'rni juda katta. Faqatgina Tempus loyihasini oladigan bo'lsak, demak ular 9 ta loyihada asosiy hamkor sifatida ishtirok etishgan. Xo'sh, asosiy natijalardan ko'radigan bo'lsak, Tempus va Erasmus Plus loyihalari yuqorida ham aytib o'tildi, bir qancha o'zini hissasini qo'shgan O'zbekistondagi oliy ta'lim muassasasining rivojlanishiga. Shulardan bittasi demak hisobot davrida biz o'rganganimizda kelib chiqdiki, 23 ta birgalikdagi, ya'ni O'zbekiston hamda Yevropa bilan tashkil etilgan dasturlarning 23 tasi mana shu loyihalarning davomi sifatida yoki shu loyihalar doirasida amalga oshirilganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Va shu bilan birgalikda asosiy xalqarolashtirish, ya'ni internatalizatsiyaga ham oliy ta'limdagi xalqarolashtiruvga Erasmus Plus loyihalarining ta'sirini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Va yana bitta muhim jihatlaridan biri bu Yevropadagi kredit tizimini O'zbekistonda bosqichma-bosqich tatbiq etilishi. Buni ham boya alohida Shuhrat Buxoroyevich to'xtalib o'tdilar. Demak, hozirgi kunda barchamizga ma'lum O'zbekistondagi oliy ta'lim muassasalari bosqichma-bosqich mana shu kredit tizimiga o'tib boryapti va shu davrgacha amalga oshirilgan loyihalar, ya'ni yaratilgan yangi dasturlar yoki borlarini yangilangan dasturlarimiz aynan mana shu kredit tizimini hisobga olib amalga oshirilganini oladigan bo'lsak, aksariyat oliy ta'lim muassasalarimizda bu tizimga o'tish ancha ham oson kechayotganini kuzatishimiz mumkin. Demak, asosiy o'rganishdan olgan xulosalarimizni sanab o'tadigan bo'lsak, ya'ni bu yerda bir qismi, qolganlarini biz hisobotda ko'rishimiz mumkin. Demak, birinchi navbatda bizda yangi magistratura dasturlari, ya'ni yangi yo'nalishdagi magistratura dasturlari shakllantirildi. Va boya ta'kidlanganidek, kredit tizimiga o'tish jarayoni ancha osonlik bilan, ya'ni oliy ta'lim muassasalari faol, mana shu loyihalarda faol bo'lgan oliy ta'lim muassasalarida amalga oshayotganini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Bundan tashqari, oliy ta'lim tizimida boshqaruv va sifat nazoratini yana ham yuqori darajaga olib chiqishda loyihalarning natijasi juda ham qo'l keldi. Shu bilan birgalikda eng asosiy ko'rsatkichlardan bittasi, ya'ni capacity building deyilgan salohiyatni oshirish. Oliy ta'lim muassasalaridagi aynan shu loyihalarga jalb etilgan o'qituvchi professorlarimiz, xodimlar va noakademik tashkilotdagi xodimlarning o'zlarining yo'nalishlari bo'yicha Yevropaning nufuzli oliy ta'lim muassasalarida malakalarini oshirib kelishi, demak bizda umumiy olganda oliy ta'lim tizimida bir qancha o'qituvchi professorlarimizni nufuzli oliy ta'lim muassasalarida o'zlarining sohalari bo'yicha yana ham ko'proq malaka oshirganlarini biz o'rganib, shu natijalarni demak xulosa qilib keltiryapmiz. Va bu ro'yxatdagi oxirgi ko'rsatilgani bu qo'shma dasturlar, ya'ni Yevropaning nufuzli oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan birgalikda tashkil etilganligini biz alohida ta'kidlashni maqsad qildik. Shu o'rinda aytib o'tmoqchimizki, boya aytilgandek, bu hisobot bizni veb-saytimizda demak PDF shaklda turibdi, bemalol tanishib chiqishingiz mumkin. Bu yerda keltirilgan statistik ma'lumotlardan tashqari va xulosalardan to'liq xulosalar keltirilgan, to'liq statistik ma'lumotlar, aniq misollar bilan va kimlar bilan nima so'rovnomalar yoki suhbatlar amalga oshirilganligi aniq ko'rsatib o'tilgan, shular haqida ma'lumot olishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Bundan tashqari yechim kutayotgan muammoli holatlar ham sanab o'tilgan. Demak, buni ko'rib va shularni yechishda nimalarga amal qilsak tezroq yechimni topamiz degan maqsadda bir qancha tavsiyalar, ya'ni o'rganish davomida shakllangan tavsiyalar ham keltirilgan. Xo'sh, taqdimotim oxirida yana muhim xabar bilan o'rtoqlashmoqchiman. Mana ekranni quyisida ko'rib turibsizlar, link berilgan. Mana shu link orqali kirsanglar, aynan Erasmus Plus dasturi doirasida amalga oshirilgan loyihalarni ro'yxatini olishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Ya'ni hozir men bu yerda ekrandan lavha keltirib qo'yganman. O'zbekiston oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan amalga oshirilib yakunlangan va natijalari yuklangan loyihalarni ko'rishingiz mumkin. Hozirgi kunga kelib 108 ta loyiha yuklangan ekan. Ya'ni bu yakunlangan loyihalarimiz. Xuddi shu narsani mana xaritada ko'radigan bo'lsak, O'zbekiston oliy ta'lim muassasalari mana Yevropani ko'rsatilgan bu yerda bir qancha davlatlarda bir qancha oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan raqamlarda ko'rsatilgan birgalikda loyihalarni amalga oshirganligini ko'rishimiz mumkin. Xo'sh, bu yerda bu. Demak, e'tiboringlar uchun katta rahmat. Agar savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, bemalol tayyormiz. Gulshod opam, marhamat.
Katta rahmat Qudratxon, juda ham yaxshi ma'lumotlar taqdim etildi va o'ylaymizki, siz ko'rsatgan link orqali shu tadqiqotimiz hisoboti bilan veb-saytda joylashtirilgan shakldagi hisobot bilan batafsil tanishib chiqishadi deb o'ylaymiz ishtirokchilarimiz tomonidan. Agarda savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, iltimos savollaringizni berishingiz mumkin. Marhamat. Demak, bizda chatda bitta savol kelgan. Milliy ustuvor yo'nalishlari masalasiga oid. Bu yangi Erasmusning keyingi yillar uchun ham milliy ustuvor yo'nalishlar ro'yxati haqida ma'lumot so'ralgan. Bu haqida nima deya olasiz, Qudratxon?
Katta rahmat, juda ham o'rinli savol. Biz shu masala haqida gaplashganimizda bizga xabar berishdiki, keyingi tanlovlarda aynan bitta davlat uchun ustuvor yo'nalish ko'rsatib o'tilmaydi deyilgan. Shuning uchun yangi tanlov e'lon qilinganida biz yana ham ko'proq ma'lumot olishimiz mumkin bo'ladi.
Demak, biz Brusseldan yangi tanlov haqida ma'lumotlarni kutib qolamiz va yangi o'sha Erasmus Plus program guide'ga kiritilgan yangi ma'lumotlarni ham kutib qolishimiz kerak bo'lar ekan. Chatda yana link tashlab yuborishni so'rashyapti. Hozir bizni administratorimiz link yuboradilar. Katta rahmat. Yana savollaringiz bo'lsa, marhamat yozib yuborishingiz mumkin yoki qo'lingizni ko'tarishingiz mumkin. Demak, menimcha Qudratxon savollar yo'q. Keyingi taqdimotdan keyin balki yana savollar tug'ilishi mumkin bo'ladi. Demak, kun tartibiga ko'ra keyingi taqdimot, bu meni taqdimotim. Taqdimotimning nomi noakademik tashkilotlarni Erasmus oliy ta'limda salohiyatni oshirish loyihalaridagi ishtiroki haqida bo'lib o'tadi. Demak, noakademik tashkilotlar uchun Erasmus dasturida ishtirok etishda qanday afzalliklarga ega bo'lish haqida ma'lumot berib o'taman. Bu birinchisi xalqaro hamkorlikni rivojlantirish. Demak, bu yerda loyihalar doirasida Yevropa ittifoqidan yoki O'zbekistonniki boshqa davlatlardan kamida ikkita universitet jalb qilinishi belgilangan. ilg'or tajribalar va eng yangi laboratoriya jihozlari bilan tanishish, o'z sohasida so'nggi innovatsiyalar, texnologiyalar va rivojlanish tendensiyalari to'g'risida xabardor bo'lib borish, kelajakdagi bitiruvchilarning bilim, ko'nikma va malakalari bilan tanishishdan iborat. Shuningdek, noakademik tashkilotlar ehtiyojlari va mahalliy mehnat bozori talablariga ko'ra yangi o'quv dasturlarini ishlab chiqishda o'zlarini ishtirokini ko'zda tutishi mumkin. Tarmoq oliy ta'lim muassasalari bilan hamkorlikni rivojlantirish va doimiy ravishda hamkorlikni olib borish va muloqotda bo'lish. Yevropaga o'quv safarlarida qatnashish imkoniyati. Demak, bu yerda Yevropa universitetlarida o'tkaziladigan trening va o'quv seminarlari bo'ladigan bo'lsa, noakademik vakillari, noakademik tashkilotlar vakillari ishtirok etishlari mumkin. Va keyingisi bu talabalar uchun amaliyot tashkil etish orqali malakali kadrlarni tanlash. Demak, o'zlarining korxonalariga, vazirliklariga o'sha kadrlarni jalb etish imkoniyatini beradi. Demak, vazirlik, tarmoq vazirliklar, korxonalar yoki tashkilotlar, ularning ishtiroki va roli nimalardan iborat? Bu loyihalarning natijalarini barqarorligiga hissa qo'shadi. Oliy ta'limni rivojlantirish strategiyasini yangilashga hissa qo'shish, yangi yondashuvlarni ishlab chiqish belgilangan. Natijalarni baholash va ularni keyinchalik jamoatchilikka yetkazish respublika darajasida joriy etish ham mumkin. Undan tashqari, shu loyiha konsorsium a'zolari bilan birgalikda tematik seminarlar tashkil etishi mumkin va albatta unga manfaatdor tomonlarni taklif qilishlari mumkin bo'ladi. Demak, vazirliklar, tashkilotlar, idoralar ikki xil turdagi Erasmus loyihalarida ishtirok etishi mumkin. Bu to'liq hamkor sifatida. Demak, bu yerda loyiha boshlanishidan oldin mandat degan nomli hujjat bor, uni imzolanadi va loyiha byudjetidan to'liq foydalanish imkoniyatini beradi. Hamkor sherik sifatida ishtirok etadigan bo'lsa, unda hech qanday vakolat talab qilinmaydi. Demak, bu hamkor sifatida ishtirok etadigan bo'lsa, loyiha turli xil treninglarida, uchrashuvlarda ishtirok etishi mumkin, o'z fikrlarini ifoda qilib, muhokama qilishlari mumkin va albatta loyiha natijalarini o'sha soha vakillari bilan muhokama qilib, kelajakda o'sha qaysidir bir jihatlarini qo'llashlari mumkin bo'ladi. Va albatta o'sha aytganimizdek loyiha barqarorligini ta'minlashda yordam berishi mumkin. Sizning e'tiboringizga biz ikkita loyihani misol qilib ko'rsatishni rejalashtirdik va birinchisi bu Interas loyihasi. Bu intellektual transport tizimlari AKTga asoslangan O'zbekiston uchun yangi magistratura dasturini yaratishga bag'ishlangan loyiha edi. 3 yil davomida bu loyiha amalga oshirib kelinmoqda va unda turli xil vazirlik va korxonalar ishtirok etmoqda. Ayni paytda Oliy ta'lim vazirligi tomonidan shu intellektual transport tizimlari bo'yicha yangi magistratura dasturining ochilishiga yordam berilgani va yangi magistratura mutaxassisliklarini ta'lim yo'nalishlari va mutaxassisliklari klassifikatoriga kiritishda va davlat ta'lim standartlarini tasdiqlash borasida juda ham katta yordamini bergan va undan tashqari 3 ta boshqa tashkilotlar tomonidan esa va kadrlar kvalifikatsiyasiga bo'lgan talablarni ishlab chiqish, magistratura dasturini ishlab chiqishda talabalar magistrlik dissertatsiya mavzularini ilmiy muammolar asosida shakllantirish hamda talabalar amaliyotlarini tashkil qilishda o'z hissalarini qo'shishgan. Demak, ko'rib turibsizki, bu yerda noakademik tashkilotlarning juda ham katta yordami va ular juda ham faol ishtirok etgani bilinib turibdi va bu juda quvonarli holat deb aytsa bo'ladi. Agarda siz ushbu loyiha haqida batafsil ma'lumot bilan tanishmoqchi bo'lsangiz Bu yerda ko'rsatilgan veb-sayt orqali barcha ma'lumotlarni olishingiz mumkin. U yerda loyihaning maqsad va vazifalari, bugungi kunda erishilgan natijalar haqidagi ma'lumotlar mavjud. Va albatta ushbu loyihada kim ishtirok etayotgan, oliy ta'lim muassasalari, noakademik o'sha vazirlik va korxonalar vakillarining kontaktlari bor, u yerdan olishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Va ikkinchi loyihamiz bu Uzdok loyihasi. Demak, O'zbekistonda doktorantura ta'limini rivojlantirishga bag'ishlangan edi. Aytib o'tish kerakki, bu milliy loyiha, Interas loyihasi ham milliy loyiha edi. Demak, Uzdok loyihasi bu birinchi Uzdok loyihaning davomi sifatida amalga oshirilgan. Demak, bu yerda asosiy hamkorlardan bittasi bu oliy ta'lim vazirligi bo'lib hisoblangan. Va bu yerda oliy ta'lim vazirligining juda katta yordami teggan. Demak, bu o'sha treninglar, o'quv seminarlari vaqtida o'rganilgan tajribalarni oliy ta'lim muassasalari orasida amaliyotga tatbiq qilishda o'z hissasini qo'shgan. Yevropada tashkil etilgan treninglarda vazirlik vakillarining ishtiroki, doktoranturaning chet eldagi, ya'ni o'sha Yevropa ittifoqidagi tajribalari bo'yicha takliflar ishlab chiqilgan. Hamkor oliy ta'lim muassasalari orasida muntazam ravishda monitoring olib borilgan va bu loyiha yakunigacha vazirlik vakillari davom ettirib o'sha mavjud kamchiliklar ustida ham ish olib borishgan. Ayni paytda PhD ilmiy darajasini olish uchun izlanuvchilarning ilmiy tayyorgarligini kuchaytirish maqsadida oliy ta'limdan keyingi ta'lim birinchi o'quv yilida mutaxassislik, xalqaro nashrlarda o'zlarini ilmiy maqolalarini chop etish, ilmiy tadqiqotda statistik usullar, tadqiqot metodologiyasi kabi fanlar bo'yicha kredit modul tizimiga asoslangan o'quv mashg'ulotlari va tegishli imtihonlar tashkil etish takliflari loyiha, davlat loyiha hujjat loyihalariga kiritilgan va ko'rib chiqilmoqda. Demak, bu loyiha yakunlanganiga qaramasdan bu yerda jalb qilingan oliy ta'lim muassasalar Erasmus dasturining xalqaro kredit mobiligi doirasida ham o'zlarini hamkorliklarini davom ettirgan va davom ettirmoqda va vazirlik bilan navbatdagi yangi loyihalar ustida ish olib borilayotganligini ma'lum qilishimiz mumkin. Demak, o'sha Uzdok 1 va 2 loyihalar haqidagi ma'lumot mana shu veb-saytda keltirilgan. Bu loyiha doirasida ko'plab hujjatlar ishlab chiqilgan va barchasi mana shu veb-saytda joylashtirilgan. Batafsil ma'lumotlarni olishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Demak, menimcha ko'pchilikni qiziqtiradigan savol bo'ladi hali. Bu oldindan sizga ma'lumot berib o'tmoqchimiz. Erasmus Plus CBC loyihalarining ma'lumotlar bazasi mavjud. Demak, mana shu link orqali siz kiradigan bo'lsangiz, 2015-yildan boshlab bugungi kunga qadar qanday loyihalar amalga oshirilgan, ularni tavsiflari, ma'lumotlari, natijalari haqidagi ma'lumotlarga ega bo'lishingiz mumkin va o'sha loyihaning konsorsiumi haqida ma'lumotlarga ega bo'lishingiz mumkin. Demak, siz bu ma'lumotlar bazasiga kirganingizda siz kalit so'zini yozsangiz, o'sha loyiha haqidagi ma'lumotlarni hammasini, loyihalarning ro'yxatini chiqarib beradi. Va siz o'sha loyihalar bilan tanishib chiqishingiz mumkin. Balki siz Erasmus Plus dasturining shu kuzda e'lon qilinadigan tanlovida loyiha tayyorlatgan bo'lsangiz, shunday loyiha mavzudagi loyiha tayyorlangan bo'lsa, siz o'sha chet elda qanday qilib o'sha amalga oshirilganligi haqidagi ma'lumotlarga ega bo'lib, balki ularni namuna misol sifatida ko'rib, sizda yanada boshqa yangiliklar paydo bo'lishi mumkin. E'tiboringiz uchun katta rahmat. Sog' bo'ling.
Katta rahmat Gulshodaxon. Demak, marhamat, savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa ishtirokchilarimiz belgi bersanglar, biz mikrofonni ochib qo'yamiz va bemalol savol berishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Xo'sh.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Carsten Heinz. Please let me shortly introduce myself. I'm high-level advisor to the Minister of Innovative Development. I've been working here for 3 years, and as you know, the Ministry of Innovative Development is dealing with question of science and education as well. And I see there a strong need but for cooperation between the higher education sector and science. This is very clear. We all know there are good messages on the higher education system in Uzbekistan and some lacks of equality. I'm very grateful for the Erasmus Plus project and for the engagement of the European Union to support, to come in the European projects for Uzbek universities. One of the problems of the quality of the higher education system is over the last years, we couldn't feel a dramatic increase of quality of higher education, and we have to continue in this direction as well. There are good news. Good news are the establishment of branches of foreign universities in Uzbekistan. It easily comes to a better competition between universities for the best students. This is already a good sign. There are other positive signals. We have a lot of foreign investments in Uzbekistan. I'm myself German, so I see a lot of German companies establishing their production here in Uzbekistan, and these international acting companies, they are searching for good qualified workers, so they need good qualified staff, and it brings new challenges and to the Uzbek universities, so that they can give an orientation where to go, what should be young people capable to do in order to be a good workers for the companies. The main problem for me is there are a lot of problems. The high teaching duties for professors at universities, so there is nearly no time for science work, for scientific work. There's a lot of paperwork and so on. My question is to the Erasmus Plus office. What's your feeling about scientific work, about science at universities? Because we know a university without science, it's just a school. It might be a nice, good school, but it's just a school. What we need is an effective research at the university, which will interfere with the education, because universities are the places where it has to be created new knowledge. If it won't be created new knowledge at the universities, then they are not interesting for partners apart from the higher education system. So what about the impact of the Erasmus Plus program to increase the capabilities of the Uzbek universities to do real research projects in fundamental research and applied research, or even innovations? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carsten, for your very, very, relevant questions towards the university community, to National Erasmus Plus office. I think it's the most useful to be answered in very detailed way. And that's why I would like to refer to some very specific points. Recently, there was the interview of the recently appointed new deputy minister responsible for science and innovations and at the Ministry of High and Secondary Specialized Education, Mr. Hakimov. And he referred specifically on the great need on the university autonomy, on the academic autonomy, and the strengthening and enhancing the collaboration with the industry, with the employee organizations, to enhance the autonomy of the departments of the university. having a direct link and direct orders on the scientific research from the industry. I think this is a very good point, and this is already the statement of the on behalf of the government. So I think that we should wait for some considerable and significant decrease related to the enhancing improvement of the research activities in our universities. I referring to Erasmus Plus experience, I would like to refer to one of the projects, structural one, Uzdog 2. Gula, he has just presented, and you have the website. This project contributed a lot and involved the ministry, the department of the ministry on research activities, on the university research. They established the doctoral schools, PhD schools, and several universities throughout the country. And now their experience, their results are disseminated at the national level. What has been done by this project, I think we will refer again, that one of the results is that they developed the program to train the supervisors. So the people who can guide and who can help the young researchers. It's just one example. And I would like also to tell you that one of the national priorities in the past, which was very stable for the several years, was the knowledge triangle, support to innovation, science, and education. So to make this triangle more enhanced at university level. And we have also several projects. And again, I would like to request you, to encourage you as a representative of the Ministry for Innovative Development, that in any future Erasmus Plus project, you can be a full partner. I mean, to make the direct contribution, to make the project more relevant to the national priorities and to contribute to development of the university research. Thank you. And I hope that you will find my answer relevant. Tomorrow we can discuss it again because we have the team leader, Professor Rahmatullayev, who will present the future direction in the field of innovations and research at the university level. So we will have his presentation tomorrow. Thank you.
Rahmat, judayam o'rinli savol bo'ldi va Aziza Karimovnadan to'liq javob oldingiz deb umid qilamiz. Bizda yana kimdir qo'l ko'tarayotgan edi?
Odil aka,
Almuratovich, marhamat.
Assalomu alaykum. Men Vazirlar Mahkamasi huzuridagi ta'lim sifatini nazorat qilish davlat inspeksiyasi boshliq o'rinbosariman. Ovozim yaxshi eshitilyaptimi?
Ha, yaxshi eshitilyapti.
Avvalambor mana shu Erasmus Plus dasturi tashkilotchilariga izofa sizga o'zimizni minnatdorchilik bildiramiz, bizni ham taklif qilganlari uchun. Meni savolim Gulyopa sizga edi. Mana hozir akademik bo'lmagan tashkilotlarni loyihalarda ishtirok etish bo'yicha prezentatsiyangizni ko'rdik, eshitdik, juda ham ma'qul bo'ldi. Ayniqsa ilmga yo'naltirilganlik bo'yicha yaxshi ishlar amalga oshirilganligiga guvoh bo'lyapmiz. Meni savolim quyidagichaki, bizlar ta'lim inspeksiyasi ham bevosita mana shu loyihalarda ishtirok etishi mumkinmi? Ya'ni bizda bilasiz, mana hozir xalqaro reytinglarga oliy ta'lim muassasalarini kiritish bo'yicha juda katta bir amaliy ishlar bajarish ko'zda tutilyapti. Ikkinchisi, mana ta'lim sifatini ta'minlashda mazmunni takomillashtirish, bevosita boshqa ta'lim turlari bilan uzviyligini ta'minlash kabi vazifalarni amalga oshiryapmiz. Shu ya'ni bu proposallar deb qaraydigan bo'lsak, mana shu yo'nalishda biz bir nechta oliy ta'lim muassasalari hamkorligida mana shu loyihalarda biz ishtirok etishimiz mumkinmi? Javob uchun rahmat.
Katta rahmat savol uchun Odil Almuratovich. Albatta ta'lim inspeksiyasi Erasmus Plus loyihalarini shu oliy ta'limda salohiyatni oshirish yo'nalishi bo'yicha loyihalarda ishtirok etish imkoniyatiga ega. yuqorida aytib o'tilgan nima deydi, agarda siz to'liq hamkor sifatida ishtirok etadigan bo'lsangiz, o'sha yuqorida aytib o'tgan masalalarda o'zingiz tashkilotingiz tomonidan ishtirok etish mumkin. Demak, albatta ta'lim sifati bo'yicha bizda bitta loyiha amalga oshirilgan edi 2015-yilda. O'sha loyiha bilan ham tanishib chiqishni tavsiya qilardik, chunki u juda ham yaxshi natijalarga erishgan edi. Va sizga alohida o'sha loyiha haqidagi ma'lumotlarni ko'rishingiz mumkin. Va o'ylaymizki, albatta siz hozirdan o'sha loyiha ustida o'sha O'zbekistondagi oliy ta'lim muassasalari orasida hamkorlik olib borish uchun tanlashni tavsiya qilgan bo'lardik vuzlarning orasidan. Chunki bu jarayon katta vaqtni talab qiladi va yangi tanlov shu oktyabr oyining boshida e'lon qilinishi kutilmoqda. Boya milliy ustuvor yo'nalishlar haqida savol bo'lganida, meni hamkasbim bu keyingi Erasmusning bosqichida milliy ustuvor yo'nalishlari bo'lmasligi haqida ma'lumot berdilar. Demak, hech qanday ro'yxatni, milliy ustuvor yo'nalishlar ro'yxati bo'yicha ma'lumotni kutmasdan, demak, loyihani tayyorlash mumkin bo'ladi.
Katta rahmat. Shuni ham ozgina qo'shimcha qilmoqchi edim. Demak, Odil Almurodovich bergan savollari nodavlat tashkilotlarining ishtiroki haqida bo'ldi. Juda ham to'liq javob bo'ldi va shunga qo'shimcha ozgina bu loyihalar doirasida noakademik tashkilotlar ham to'liq hamkor sifatida ishtirok etib, ya'ni loyihani budjetidan foydalanish imkoniyatiga ega bo'ladi. Faqatgina jihoz olishda cheklov bor, chunki faqat oliy ta'lim muassasalarigina olishi mumkin. Boshqa budjetga bo'lgan, masalan, oylik maoshi bo'lishi mumkin. Bundan tashqari safar xarajatlari bo'lishi mumkin. Mana shular barchasi, demak, loyiha doirasida agar maqsadga yo'naltirilgan bo'lsa, qoplab berilishi ko'zda tutilgan. Rahmat. Agar savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, marhamat, biz savollarga ochiqmiz.
Demak, bitta savol kelgan menga. Каким образом обеспечить участие отраслевого министерства или Минвуза degan savol berilgan ekan. Javob berasizmi?
Demak, qanday qilib biz vazirlik va uni bo'limlarining ishtirokini ta'minlashimiz mumkin degan savol. Bu yerda loyiha shakllantirish davrida albatta bu vazirlikning ishtiroki u yerda ko'rsatilib o'tilishi kerak, ya'ni ular bajaradigan vazifalar va boshqa hamkorlar bilan kelishilgan holda ularga ajratiladigan mablag', agar mablag' ajratiladigan bo'lsa, va ularning vazifalari, nima natijalar kutilyapti ko'rsatib o'tiladi va loyiha moliyalashtirishga tanlab olinsa, albatta noakademik tashkilotlar, ya'ni shu vazirlik va uning bo'limlari ham bemalol ishtirok etishlari mumkin bo'ladi. Buning uchun ular o'zlarining sohalariga yaqin bo'lgan oliy ta'lim muassasalari yoki qaysidir maqsadda loyiha amalga oshirayotgan bo'lsa, ular bilan birgalikda hamkorlikda ishlashlarini tavsiya qilamiz va bu muvaffaqiyatga olib keladi degan umiddamiz.
Katta rahmat Qudratxon javob uchun. Demak, yana bitta savol kelgan. Bu boya aytib o'tdim, hamkorlarni topish masalasi bo'yicha. Hamkorlarni qanday qilib topish imkoniyatlari bor, nima tavsiya bergan bo'lar edingiz deyishyapti.
Katta rahmat. Demak, bu har doim tez-tez takrorlanib turadigan savollarimizdan bittasi. Biz avvalambor tavsiya qilardikki, hamkorlarni o'zingizdagi bor mana shu Yevropa oliy ta'lim muassasalaridagi tanishlaringiz, ya'ni konferensiyalarda uchratgan professional tanishlaringiz bor, ular bilan birgalikda shakllantirish maqsadga muvofiq deb o'ylaymiz. Chunki qanchalik sizni hamkoringiz haqingizda ko'proq ma'lumotga ega bo'ladigan bo'lsa, shunchalik ishlash oson bo'ladi. Va bundan tashqari bizda tanlov jarayonida asosan talablar keladi. Hamkor izlab kelish so'rashadi Yevropalik oliy ta'lim muassasalari. Shunda biz ham e'lon qilamiz, to'g'ri maqsadli ravishda chiqamiz. U ham muvaffaqiyatga erishishdagi aniq maqsadli hamkor topishdagi yechim bo'la oladi. Va undan tashqari siz to'g'ridan to'g'ri ularga murojaat qilishingiz mumkin. O'zingiz taklifingiz bilan nima loyiha yozmoqchisiz va qanday maqsadlarga yo'naltirilgan va ular qanday manfaat oladi va ularga nima qiziq taraflari bor, shu bilan qiziqtirib jalb qilishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Va shu bilan birgalikda bizni veb-saytimizda alohida shakl bor. Agar sizga hamkor kerak bo'ladigan bo'lsa, qisqa loyihangizni tavsifini yozib yuborsangiz, biz o'zimizning Yevropadagi hamkorlarimizga bilan o'rtoqlashamiz va ular agar talab bo'ladigan bo'lsa, sizlarga alohida chiqishi mumkin bo'ladi. Katta rahmat.
Katta rahmat, juda ham batafsil ma'lumot berdingiz. Yana savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, marhamat qo'lingizni ko'tarishingiz mumkin va savollaringizni berishingiz mumkin. Demak, menimcha boshqa hech kimda savol yo'q.
Mana Po'latxon aka bizda savol beraman deyaptilar. Hozir ularga mikrofonni ochamiz.
Assalomu alaykum, Murodxon aka. Rahmat shunaqa foydali prezentatsiyalar uchun. Menda bitta ham savol, ham nima xabardor qilib qo'yish masalasida eslatib qo'ymoqchi edim. Hozir bizda mana xususiy universitetlar juda ko'p ochilyapti, davlat xususiy sherikchiligi asosida. Juda ko'p joyda mana ancha soni ko'paydi, 30 ga yaqinlashib qoldi. Bizga ko'p holatda shunaqangi murojaatlar tushyapti, shu xususiy universitetlar, kichkina universitetlarni Erasmus Plus loyihalarida qatnashishi qanday bo'ladi? Ularni jalb etishi qanaqa bo'ladi? Ular o'zi alohida nima oliy ta'lim muassasasi sifatida 100% shu Erasmus Plus grantlaridan foydalanish huquqiga egami? Shu bilan birga viloyatlarda tashkil etilgan markaziy oliy ta'lim muassasalarining filiallari qanaqa rol o'ynaydi, qanaqa rol bajaradi? Shu to'g'risida bir qisqacha ma'lumot bersangiz, chunki juda ko'p murojaatlar shundan kelib tushyapti.
Katta rahmat savol uchun. Bu ham juda ham muhim. Ya'ni hozirgi davrga kelib oliy ta'lim muassasalarining soni keskin oshdi. Biz buni ko'rib turibmiz va aytishimiz mumkinki, albatta har bitta oliy ta'lim muassasasi alohida institut sifatida ishtirok etishi mumkin va to'liq imkoniyatlardan foydalanishi mumkin. Shuning uchun u agar filial bo'lsa ham o'zini rahbariyatiga ega, o'zini alohida ro'yxatdan o'tgan hujjatlariga ega. Shuni hisobga olgan holda har bitta yangi tashkil etilgan filial yoki birgalikdagi oliy ta'lim muassasasi bo'lishi mumkin. Ular bemalol to'liq hamkor sifatida loyihada ishtirok etishlari mumkin bo'ladi va bu albatta ularga, ya'ni aynan o'sha loyiha konsorsiumiga juda ham ijobiy ta'sir qiladi. Ya'ni alohida ko'rsatib o'tilgan, agar yangi ishtirokchilar, ya'ni oldin loyihada ishtirok etmagan oliy ta'lim muassasalarini biz jalb etsak, ya'ni agar u ayniqsa davlat hududlarida bo'ladigan bo'lsa, markazda emas, hududlarda bo'ladigan bo'lsa, ular ancha ustuvorlikka ega bo'ladi va moliyalashtirish imkoniyati yana ham ortadi. Shuning uchun ularning ishtiroki ijobiy baholanadi.
Katta rahmat, Qudratxon. Demak, yana bitta savol bor. Vazirlik yoki tashkilotlar ishtirok etadigan bo'lsa loyihada, ular oylik maosh, ya'ni staff cost olish imkoniyati bormi degan savol berilgan.
Katta rahmat. Boya bu haqida to'xtalib o'tdik. Demak, hamkor sifat, asosiy hamkor bo'ladigan bo'lsa, ya'ni bu yerda noakademik tashkilotlar va boshqa tashkilotlar ham asosiy hamkor yoki associated, ya'ni yordamchi hamkor sifatida ishtirok etishi mumkin. Agar asosiy hamkor bo'ladigan bo'lsa, albatta ular qiladigan vazifalardan kelib chiqqan holda ularga oylik maoshi ajratilishi ko'zda tutilgan. Va qo'shimcha ravishda safar xarajatlari, agar shu maqsadga to'g'ri keladigan bo'lsa, ularning safarlari va mana shunga bog'liq bo'lgan yashash xarajatlari ham boshqa davlatda yoki boshqa joyda bo'ladigan bo'lsa, shular ham ko'zda tutilgan to'lovlar amalga oshirilishi mumkin.
Savol juda yaxshi savol berildi. Hozir ko'pchilikda bu savol tug'ilgan bo'lishi kerak edi o'zi. Demak, bizda chatda boshqa savol kelmadi. Agarda yana kimdir savol bo'lsa, marhamat berishingiz mumkin. Shu yerda aytib o'tishimiz kerak. Onlayn vebinarimizni ertaga 2-kuni bo'lib o'tadi. Yuqorida Shuhrat Bahadurovich qaysi mavzularda taqdimotlar taqdim etilishi haqidagi ma'lumotlarni berib o'tdilar. Ekspertlar milliy guruhi a'zolari tomonidan ushbu tadqiqotda juda ham faol ishtirok etib, o'zlarini yo'nalishlari bo'yicha juda ham katta ko'mak bergan va ertaga ular tomonidan o'sha o'zlarining yo'nalishlari bo'yicha olib borilgan tadqiqot natijalari bo'yicha ma'lumotlarni yetkazadi va 2017-2020 yillarga tegishli sohalardagi islohotlarni tavsiflovchi tadqiqotning tahliliy qismini tayyorlangan. Demak, ertaga bo'lib o'tadigan tadbirni kun tartibi va barcha o'sha unga doir bo'lgan hujjatlarni veb saytimizda joylashtiramiz va undan tashqari bizni ijtimoiy tarmoqlarimizda ham berib boriladi. Iltimos, u yerda ko'rsatilgan link orqali siz ro'yxatdan o'tishingiz kerak va so'ng siz email adresingizga olgan link orqali webinarimizga ulanishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Demak, navbatdagi so'zni men Qudratxonga yana beraman. Ular tomonidan shu bugungi tadbirimizni yakunlaydilar. Marhamat.
Katta rahmat. Chatdan yana yozishibdi, tajribali oliy ta'lim muassasalari hali ishtirok etmagan oliy ta'lim muassasalariga mentorlik qilsa yaxshi bo'lar edi deyishibdi. Demak, juda ham yaxshi tavsiya. Tajribaga ega bo'lgan guruhlarimiz aksariyat oliy ta'lim muassasalarida shakllangan. Demak, ishtirok etaman degan oliy ta'lim muassasalari bo'ladigan bo'lsa, o'zimizdagi barcha hududlarda, ya'ni respublikamiz barcha viloyatlaridagi oliy ta'lim muassasalarida mana shu Erasmus+, Tempus loyihalarida faol ishtirok etgan guruhlar shakllangan. Bu guruhlarga murojaat qilishinglar mumkin. Agar ular bilan aloqaga chiqa olmasanglar, bizga murojaat qilsanglar, biz bu borada yana yordam berishimiz mumkin bo'ladi. Ya'ni hamkor, o'zimizdagi mahalliy oliy ta'lim muassasalarida hamkor topish masalasi bo'yicha. Va agar savollar bo'lmasa yoki savollar shakllanguncha bizda bitta so'rovnoma bor, ikkita savol bilan shuni o'z fikringizni bildirasizlar deb umid qilamiz. Marhamat. Demak, agar savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, bemalol chatdan yozishinglar mumkin yoki belgi bersanglar biz mikrofonni ochamiz. Demak, bizda javoblar kelyapti. Yana 15 sekunddan keyin so'rovnomani yopamiz va natijalarni ko'rishimiz mumkin bo'ladi. Katta rahmat. Demak, so'rovnomani shu yerda yakunlaymiz. Va natijalarimiz yomon emas. Aksariyat ishtirokchilarimiz demak bugungi tadbirdan
katta savol bor. Malaka oshirish tizimi ham katta proyektlarda qatnashsa bo'ladimi? Qudratxon, marhamat.
Xo'p, katta rahmat savol uchun. Demak, malaka oshirish tizimi ham katta, albatta. Demak, malaka oshirish tizimi deganda biz institutlarni tushunadigan bo'lsak, har bitta instituti alohida o'zi hamkor sifatida ishtirok etishi mumkin bo'ladi. Agar ular oliy ta'lim instituti ichida bo'ladigan bo'lsa, oliy ta'lim muassasasi sifatida ishtirok etishi ham mumkin. Agar alohida institut bo'ladigan bo'lsa, ular noakademik tashkilot, ya'ni bitiruvchi chiqarmaydigan tashkilot sifatida ishtirok etishi mumkin bo'ladi. Bu yerda hech qanday cheklov yo'q, faqatgina aniq ularning loyihadagi vazifalari va maqsadga erishishda ularning o'rnini aniq ko'rsatib o'tish kerak bo'ladi.
Katta rahmat.
Marhamat, yana bizda boshqa savollar chatda Erasmus loyihalari bilan tajribasi bor odamlarni ko'rib chiqdik. Menimcha barcha savollarni ko'rib chiqdik. Agar savol bo'ladigan bo'lsa, marhamat yana.
Shu yerda yana bitta narsani ta'kidlab o'tmoqchi edik. Agarda siz yangi loyiha takliflarini ustida ishlayotgan bo'lsangiz, mavzular bo'yicha qandaydir savollar bo'lsa yoki hujjatlarni tayyorlashda qandaydir bir savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, albatta bizni ofisimizga murojaat qilishingiz mumkin. Biz qo'limizdan kelgancha barchangizga yordam berishga tayyormiz va agarda siz savollaringiz bo'ladigan bo'lsa, birinchi navbatda bizga elektron pochta orqali murojaat qilishingizni iltimos qilgan bo'lar edik. Chunki bizning ofis hali to'liq offline shaklga o'tgani yo'q, shuning uchun imkon darajasida sizlar bilan uchrashuvlar ham tashkil etishni rejalashtirishimiz mumkin bo'ladi. Demak, menimcha savollar yo'q. Qudratxon, so'z sizga.
Demak, barcha ishtirokchilarga katta rahmat deymiz. Qimmatli vaqtlarini ayamasdan ishtirok etganlari uchun, ayniqsa Yevropa Ittifoqi delegatsiyasi, Oliy o'rta maxsus ta'lim vazirligi, sifatni nazorat qilish inspeksiyasi va boshqa bir qator tashkilotlarimiz faol ishtirok etishdi, hamda Innovatsiya vazirligi barchalariga alohida tashakkur bildiramiz. O'ylaymizki, barcha uchun foydali bo'ldi. Agar ko'rilmagan masalalar qolib ketgan bo'lsa, bemalol bizga yana alohida murojaat qilishingiz mumkin. Bundan tashqari ertaga yana yarim kunlik mana shu vaqtda tadbirimiz bor. Bu tadbirda ham sizlarni faol ishtirokchilarni kutib qolamiz. E'tiboringlar uchun katta rahmat. Barchaga muvaffaqiyat. Mana shu Erasmus loyihalarida muvaffaqiyat birgalikda erishaylik. Katta rahmat.
Rahmat katta.